Welcome everyone to our 14th annual Parent Empowerment Conference. We are really excited to have as our first session, PEC Francoeur, who is our PGCPS professional librarian. Catherine has over 23 years of experience at PGCPS and has spent the last 21 years in the professional library, where she plays a key role in managing our library automation system and providing essential support to our talented school librarians. She is passionate about empowering educators and students and actively visits schools to introduce and guide staff in the effective use of our diverse range of databases. Whether it's optimizing systems or enhancing research capabilities, she's dedicated to fostering an environment where information is accessible, organized, and impactful. So Catherine, I'm going to turn it over to you for the presentation.
All right, so why don't we want the students to use Google? What's the difference between Google and a databases? So if I had my own laptop, and I don't know if Marcia, if you can you look at my notes? Because there's two websites at the bottom in my notes. And I would like to, if we could just look at them real quick to show the difference. Because of course, a lot of our students are going to use Google. And a lot of our students and adults, we just don't have the knowledge on how to decide, how to tell if a site is authentic, if it's has good information, if it's not biased, who wrote it, and all that stuff. So I have the first one, which is the ACPEDS. Yeah, that one. And then if you could go back to the bottom and go to the other one, which is the, yeah, that one. So those two sites, if you look at them, you can just keep going back and forth a little bit. They look super professional. One of them is like the American College of Pediatrician. The other one is, sorry, I don't know them by heart. They're the American Academy of Pediatrics. So as adults or as students, you're Googling pediatrics or children, and you can get both of these or one of these. And how would you know the difference? If you've never learned how to do it's called lateral research, but you don't know that this one that Marcy is showing right now, that is actually been labeled as a hate group. Okay, it's anti-LGBTQIA, and it's right now, you didn't show the pop-up when you first went there, but they also have anti-transgender. So, but they're looking at it when you're Googling it, it looks really good. So when you go to a database, you have had expert looking at the information, and you can trust what you find in those databases. So that's why we recommend the databases. So I was going to ask you, do you agree with me? Do you think that it's a good idea to use database because they're trustworthy? Or would you still prefer going to Google? And if you go in the chat and type in I strongly agree that databases are awesome. And then if you strongly disagree, it's 3, which makes no sense. I should have done 4, but somewhat agree 2 and somewhat disagree 4. So please go to the chat and give me your opinion. Are we getting any response? Yep. Okay, somewhat disagree. Okay, Miss White, yeah. So the question is, do you agree that databases are more trustworthy than Google? Because we don't know Google, you don't know who created the site. You don't know when it was created, because some of the information can be old. You don't know the bias of the creator. And like the example I gave you, it makes a huge difference who wrote the database. Okay, somewhat agree. All right, so I'm going to show you databases from PGCPS. So these are resources that your students can go, that you can trust that the information that's there is trustworthy, created by expert, and you can use them for homework. So there's a couple of access points to get to it. I'm giving you 3. There's the PGCPS. If you go to our county webpage, pgcps.org, and go to the student tab, that's option 1. Then you can always go to Clever. Our students are very familiar with Clever, so they can use Clever. Then the third choice is the library website, which is destiny.pgcps.org. And all this to get to the library catalog. So when you land on the library catalog page, that's where you would get all the databases. If you don't mind clicking on that, Marcy, can you show them? I don't have access to Clever, so I don't ever use Clever, but yeah, you can go to Destiny or the pgcps.org and go to. So these are all the databases. The county pays for all of them, and they're obviously free for us, okay? So at home, there's at the top here, you see a list of usernames and passwords, and most of the username is PGCPS and the password is PGCPS. There are, of course, some exceptions. So that list is always available to all PGCPS people. The students can at home, if they're using their Gmail account, they can always ask for requests, and I do open it for them. But if they're on the PGCPS, it just opens and you have all the information that you want from there. So these, and then but on the network for the students, which makes it super easy, they have access. It opens without any password request. So we're going to go back to the presentation and the next page. All right, so we have multiple ebooks in the county. This is going to be a little difficult. So we're going to go back to the Destiny page. Marcy, there's going to be a lot of jumping. So if you go back to the main page, yeah. So I'm just going to talk about the ebooks, which is the little orange box right there, which is a good resource when your teachers are asking for your students for resources, for sources of information. So we have Abdo Digital. I really like that one because this one is very, very simple. So the username is PGCPS and the password is PGCPS. So those ebooks are super easy. They're divided by grade group. So depending on the age of your child, there's a couple of different genres. You have the subject of, and then format and all this stuff. They're all ebooks, and then you have the titles and stuff. So if you click on, you can just open any of them by clicking open now. So the Abdo books are the simplest ebooks that we have. Yes, you just click open ebook and the book opens up. And on the right, yeah, you can click and the book opens. So like that one is just basic ebooks that your child can read on their computer. There's no fluff. There's no text to voice on that one, just super basic. Then we're going to go back to the Destiny homepage. Then we have the Capstone Interactive. So those are our new ebooks, and they're for all ages. And if you, again, they're all pretty much all the same, where you just click on a book. Go ahead. And click open. And this one, if you click play at the bottom, there's that little orange thing with the play thing. I don't know if you share your sound, but this one will have text to voice. So the book will be read to your student if that's what you want. And I think
by Lucy McCook.
And I think it highlights too. Can you try
Got
one
10
more?
minutes?
Yeah.
What can you do with just 10 minutes to spare? Draw, of course. Just sharpen a pencil, grab a scrap of paper, and follow the simple step-by-step diagrams. In
Thanks.
minutes, you...
So this, again, the selection of those, the capstone is pretty small, but they are our newest collection with a lot of very attractive books for smaller people, and they can get being read to them. So that's really nice. Yes, thank you. We're going to go to the National Geographic. The Mac and V is too different for a lot of people. So the National Geographic, again, PGCPS. I think PGCPS should do it here. Yeah. I wonder why I brought you to Adelphi. So for people that are a bit slightly older, that will remind you, you can just click on any of them, Marcy. So this is just the old National Geographic that we used to get and cut out animals and stuff. So if your child is doing any kind of project about geography, a lot of animal stuff, they're welcome to go here. Again, there's no fluff on this one. There's no text to voice or anything like that, but you can print it if the screen, you're tired of looking at a screen. And I always like to show at the top right, Marcy, right under Sailor, there's the cite button. So our students need to know how to cite when they're doing research. So all of our databases also have, I forgot to show the other one, but they have that option. So where they could just copy and paste that citation into their project. So that's the National Geographic. No biggie. There's magazines, there's books, there's videos and stuff and pictures as well in there. Then Rosen Interactive, which is right under it. PGCPS. I'm glad we're getting to test all that and then log in. Those are pretty cool. Not a huge selection, but I really like them. Just pick any of them, really. Because they have the one, you can read the book and then there's read the book with activities, but we can just pick one, yeah. Whichever.
American Animals. Black Bears. Merrill Magby. Contents. Smart Bears. Page 4.
So I really like that because it highlights each word instead of the whole sentence. So you can play, I think if you go to the, at the bottom, there's a way to make it go faster on this one, but you can adjust some of the controls. I think, oh, I'm pointing to my screen. Can you see? I think it's the button next to the voice thing that is a bar, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. Oh no, that. Maybe not. Oh, actually, you know what, Marcy? It's the little man at the bottom, at the top, right? That's blue. Yeah. So yes, that one actually, I just found this out. It has some major accessibility tools that you can change here, and you just turn them on. I was just playing with some of them. You just go to the left where it says off and on, just turn one on, and it just changed the book like this. So they have that for all the books on this this library, which is super cool, I think. So a lot of different things that you can play with to make it a more readable and more visible if you have a different kind of disability for your students. So that is the Rosen. We're going to skip Sora. We'll come back to Sora. Let's go to TrueFlix. So TrueFlix is the social studies, PGCPS, yeah. Social studies resource. They all work the same. So just pick one. It's good from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. They all have this little watch it movie, which is about 1.5 minutes. And then again, on the right, if you click on the book, our ebooks are super simple. You just open. So you have to go in a little bit and then you'll have the read to me, but it doesn't have it at the beginning, which is very strange. So I think then you could try to read to me at the top at this point, but I'm not sure it's going to work. No, so next page. And no audio still. I think it starts when the book starts. Yeah, so right here, again, you have the text to voice.
The Apache Indians. The Apache Indians are a Native American group that has been living in North America.
And then you can do the zoom in and the zoom out. You can make it full screen and that kind of stuff if there's too much around and you prefer that kind of thing. So simple, but when your student has a project for school, it's divided in topics and it's really, yeah, I would say probably maybe kindergarten is too young, but 3rd grade to 8th grade, definitely a great place to start. Then we have both Tumble Books and Tumble Math. I love those. Those are pre-K to 5th grade, and you have a lot of choices here, but you have the storybooks to read along, ebooks, there's STEM books, there's graphic novels, nonfiction. We have language learnings because they're French and Spanish books. And there are also puzzles and games. So if you want to pick one, Marcy, any of them, I think. But these are the games. Yeah, just whichever. Super simple. Yeah, just click read online.
Dig, dance, dive. How birds move to
Is the book
survive.
not open?
Written by Etta Kaner. Illustrated
see.
by June Staub.
I'm not seeing the book actually.
I'm seeing the book on my screen. Is anybody else having trouble seeing it? They're not seeing it.
Oh, interesting. Anyway, normally you would, I'm glad you're seeing, Marcy. Maybe it's some weird thing with Tumblebook.
I think
So,
it pop up.
oh, maybe.
So yeah, so it's not on the same
Oh yeah, you're right. It's on the same tabs.
yeah.
It should still show you. Anyway, so that's another one, but I really like Tumblebooks because it's for really young kids and it's very interactive. There's a lot of animation and it keeps the kids' attention. So it's really cool. And then if you need help with some math, Tumble Math, these are all books about math and see how they're divided and counting, addition, subtraction. You have the finds geometry. So if your kid has any issues with any of these topics that they're learning at school, go to Tumble Math and then they can read a book and that will help them with their math skills. So do you want to try to play it and see what happens there? Yeah, that's definitely the Tumble Book music.
Oh dear, muttered Lady Di of Amateur as she rushed down the castle corridor. She ran headlong into her husband, Circumference. What's the hurry? He asked her. The castle cook is in bed with the chills, she answered. And the harvest fair is just around the corner. We need to select the annual harvest suite.
So this
We'll
one
need
you're
someone
seeing
to
is
do the
highlighting
baking,
the
too,
whole
said
sentence instead of
Circumference.
all the word, just the word. So a little bit more advanced. But yeah, I really like Tumble Books and Tumble Math because they have a great option. So then we're going to go to Sora to finish. So Sora is our biggest, that's the one Marcy, you're going to have to log in with your credentials. That's the one exception. Your student will need to log in with their county credentials. And this is your first time. Blast off. Good job. So what is really nice about Sora is that it looks at your child's age and it only shows you the appropriate book. So Marcy is an adult. So we are seeing kindergarten to adult books. But if a kindergartner were to log into Sora, and there's a great app that goes with it, then they would only see, I think it's third grade and lower books that are for them in there. So at this point, you're in here. She looked at the breadwinner. If you click borrow on the right, yes, the book is checked out to her. So we'll start reading. And here's the book. So yeah, it looks very small. If you click if you go up, yeah, the one to the left, the circle that has, click again in the middle. So you click in the middle and click that. It's going to should bring just one page. I'm not quite sure why it's so small, but that's to keep track. If you click zoom, does it work? No, that's just it could be just that book. But I only use my phone or my iPad to read, so I don't know how the Chrome would work on that. Yes, and thank you. We do have some assistive technologies here, so different colors. That is not available for all the books, so that you do need to be careful because if you go to the graphic novels, they don't have that kind of function. But yeah, you can close it for me. Okay. There's a lot of little popping up thing. So if you go to the bottom and you're looking at shelf, I'm going to show that in a second. If you go to the bottom and go to shelf, that's where your books that you're checked out are there. You can also put holds. So if it's a popular book, you can put a hold, because with Sora, the downside is that it's 1-to-1. So if there's only one book, then only one child can check it out. Then okay, so let's go to the top right, what the hamburger is. So they have they have the settings with the dyslexic font. And again, not all the books. So you do have to be you have to make sure it works, the high contrast, the English. So the new thing is the reading goals. So a lot of teachers or a lot of parents want their kids to read for a certain amount of time. So you can turn on the reading goals, select a time you want to, from 10 minutes a day to an hour a day. And then after that, let's do, I don't know if it's going to work. Click done. It should work actually. All right. And then can you click on that little star at the top? So this would give you a summary, depending on how your child has read, of per day and per month and 6 months and stuff. So if you are interested and you care about how much your child is reading or listening, because those are also, there's a lot of audiobooks in there, then that's a great place that you can actually keep track of how much your children are reading. So I really like Sora. We're gonna go back to I'm just stay a little bit longer in Sora, Marcy. If you go, is there a scrolling up on that or no? Oh yeah, go home. I'm sorry. And then go to explore. Home is what you have checked out. So explore is, and then go back to the Women History Month. You're so good. Thank you. And then go back to explore. And then you can scroll down. So these are all of our different collections that we have. We keep adding new books. And please remember, she's an adult, so we're seeing a lot more than a lot of kids. We have a huge Spanish language collection. And when you're seeing that little headphone symbol, that's because it's an audiobook, and it works great on phones, by the way. We have the Black Eyed Susan. So a huge, really a big selection. And if you scroll all the way down, they're divided by categories. So depending if your child likes adventure or science fiction or any of these, they're just divided by topic at the bottom. So that's a super fast way to get to it. She's slowly getting there. We have the professional. So here they are, the popular subject. If your child likes fantasy, they can click on fantasy, and then they only get fantasy books in there. So please explore Sora. It really is a nice resource. Not much nonfiction, so I don't know much about doing homework with it, but I know a lot of teachers do require some reading, so that's a great place for them to select books that they like. Like we have the Diary of Wimpy Kids are in there, we have Bone in there, so a lot of the books that the kids really like. All right, so we can go back to my presentation. I think we jumped ahead a little bit. Yep, next, we did that one. That is going to show you what I just talked about. Yep, next. Okay, so we also have a lot of, not a lot, we have two encyclopedias. So I tell everyone, for any project that your child has, please go to the encyclopedias to start, because encyclopedias are a great knowledge base for any topic that your kid is looking at. So where it says school access ID, it's PGCPS, and the school passcode is PGCPS. So there's 3 levels, and it's looked like we had small people, so we could just do elementary. But just so that you know that we have all levels here, okay? So let's say your child has a project about, I don't know, we could do, what's the 2nd grade? Let's do, climate change is probably too old, but you can go up to the top, Marcy, and just type in a subject here. And enter. And just pick the top one. So your kid is doing a climate change. So they are divided. You're seeing introduction, and so they're divided, so it's not too much text to start here. Okay, and they have this is new, this on the left right here. You have the site button, the save. You can send it by email. You can print it if you need. You can also translate. You can change the font, and they also have Open Dyslexic. And yes, nice. And then if you click on any word, can you like double click on climate for me? You should like, oh yeah, or living, that works. The dictionary pops up and gives them the definition of the word. And it also has a translation of in Spanish next to it. Just above where this box is, there is a text to voice. So you can click
Living
on
things
that.
contribute to climate change as well. Natural
And it's-
processes that plants and animals go
Yep.
through have helped.
So if you go to, I think, try the hamburger, the 3 bars at the top. Never know if it's this. Okay, no, actually the little icon on the right. Yeah. So these are all the different resources that that's for teachers that the Britannica offers. So we have academic, and it's just different levels. So we have 2. We have an elementary and a secondary French. We have the same for Spanish, middle, low and high. And then we also have the dictionary, because if you go to Merriam-Webster online, you have to pay, but through the Britannica Encyclopedia, we have it for free. So it's worth looking at. And then we also have the last one on that list was primary resources, because many teachers, the original sources, many teachers do ask for primary resource when the students are doing a research project. And that's where you can go and you will see the actual documents. So you can try, I don't know if the Declaration of Independence, it should be there though. Let's try it. I mean, obviously it's going to be just a text, but yeah. So you have, so these are the original text that Thomas Jefferson wrote. So that's definitely a little bit older for our students, but it's good for them to know that those primary resources are there. So that's Britannica. And can we go back to the, yeah, no, thank you. You're awesome. You read my mind. So where it says level 1, 2, 3. So right now we are at level 1, which is elementary school. But if you were to click on level 2 on the left, the orange bar up there, a little higher. Yeah. Then it brings you to the middle school reading level. And then if you were to click 3, then that's the secondary level. So obviously our students will probably have a bigger tendency to go down. So if you have a high school student and they're a little bit on the lower reading level scale, they can go to level 2. And then this way, I don't know if it doesn't change around, the platform doesn't change. So even if you're a middle or high and you need to go lower, it won't make it look like elementary. So that is really nice about Britannica. So you're a middle school student and you want to read at the elementary school level, and it doesn't look like you're reading elementary. So, and I've been actually telling my students, even middle and high school, that you can start at the elementary, because for me, I feel like at the elementary level, they bring whatever's important is at that level. And then everything else, the middle and secondary is just fluff. But the important things, right, Yvette? I know you're laughing, but it's true, right? It's like they're just adding more words. But at the elementary level, they get to the point and that's that. So I've been telling my kids, just go elementary level, and from there, if you need more, just then move up. So all this to say, there's 3 levels of reading. So love Britannica. And I think you have to go back to Destiny for me. Then we also, beside Britannica, oh, sorry, you can actually, if you click next, I think you're going to get the different, that little description. Yeah, so there's 3 level, there's multi-language, I said all that. Yep. Okay, the fonts you can, again, increase, decrease. And so World Book is the other encyclopedia, which to me is a little bit more attractive. There's bigger pictures, yeah. But it's exactly the same. You can just pick whichever you want. They only have Spanish. They don't have the French or the Japanese. You can do climate change again if you like, or you can do Amelia, whatever. And just pick an article. Okay, so it has the same, you can have the read to text. This one has a change voice. I find it very strange, but I guess if you want a man to read or a woman, and I guess it's probably the speed, but you can double click on the word.
Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is a United
It's a
Nations
computer reading
committee.
on this
It
one.
provides scientific information to world governments regarding.
Can you, yeah.
Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is a United Nations committee.
Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is a United Nations committee.
Yeah.
It provides.
All right. I mean, I guess it keeps you entertained, but so it's same idea. You get the voice, and I think if you click the gear on this one, which is just above change there. The word change, is that the one? Yeah, so that's where you have your tools for view. You can save, share, print, citation. There's a translate. You can highlight, text change, text size, and change font too. So depending on what works for your student, then you can play and yeah, make it look bigger and that kind of stuff. But it's pretty much just like a Britannica. World Book is just a different encyclopedia. All right, next one. All right, so we also have Gale databases. You can click next to get all the stuff that come up, and then we can go to it if you don't mind. So the Gale's going to have the text to voice. It's got different display option. There's always the side button, which I didn't show in Britannica, but it's there. You can highlight. There's advanced search. Then there's level articles as well. So all the level, middle is the same, high is all the same. And there's also other resources, which is books and author and Peterson's test and career prep, which is for older students. And I don't think we have any. So let's just go to Gale for a second. And I'm going to just quickly show PGCPS. So Gale is one of my favorite, I think. Oh, that's interesting about elementary. So just pick animals. And just pick one. And pick another one. I guess you have to go down to the article level. So the amphibians. So it has this. You must be in the images now, right? Can you go back to the, oh, because you were in documents. So where it says sound off, you can do the sounds on and it will read you the text.
Amphibians are animals. They live part of their lives in water. They live part of it on land.
Then you have the, yeah. So if you scroll down, you have, so the Gale, I like it a lot because again, a lot of teachers ask your students, give me multiple resources, don't just go to one. And Gale gives you multiple resources just under that one topic. So you're looking at amphibians. Here you have a selection of books. Here you have a selection of magazines, and you can just click on any of them. It works. Yep. Oh, that's where you were. Okay. And then it just gives you information about that. So then you don't even need to go somewhere else to find another resource. Everything is there. So that one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, but you can actually highlight. So if you select some, like just a sentence, and then you click highlight. Yeah. And then what it does, if you notice on the right, it says highlights and notes. It says a little one next to it now. And Gale keeps track of those for you. So we only did one. So here it is. And then you can send that to a Google Doc. And then the Google Doc keeps track. So if your child clicks on that, it brings you to this article. So it's really, Gale makes it really, really easy for our students. And there's the side button is of course there. And can we go back? Yes, to the article. Is that easy if you go back, I think? And scroll up. All right, so yes, you have, I showed the text to voice, which is the purple button with the little sound thing, but then you have, yeah, the size, different fonts. You have the display options, again, different options for our students, whatever they need. And there's also Google Translate if you need. So, you know, it is definitely Google Translate. So not the best, but it helps. And this one has, the Alexa. This one has a level 1 and a level 2. So it's kind of the same with the encyclopedia where you have the 2 levels, reading level, depending on your student. So all the elementary, middle, and high have kind of the same functions. If your child, again, do we have it here? Can we go back to the home where it says, just below that, it says home? Oh, that's fine. You can click topics for me. Yeah, so if your kid, again, a lot of teachers gives them free reign, please find something to research. They can go here, browse, and find something that that interests them. So they don't actually have to come up with a topic out of their head. They can just go here and it gives them ideas too. So Gail highly recommend, great place for homework to help them with research for the plethora of resources right there. Okay, we're gonna go back yet. So that's Gail. So we also have Culturegram. I mentioned Mango and SIRS. So Culturegram is a database for geography. So yes, oh, is that Culturegram? Yep. So it has the world edition, states, kids, provinces. So just pick any country. I always pick Canada, but I'm biased. So if your kid has a topic, they have to do a research on a state, on a country, they can go here and everything is updated, because I promise you the country book that is in their school library is outdated. So any information that they want about Canada or any other country can be found here, including recipe, and there's the official name, and of course the anthem, and you get the flag. So all the information, you don't need a book, everything is there. And they have exactly the same for all the countries, all the states, all the provinces. So Culturegram is a great resource for geography. Then I said Mango, and that's a public library database. This was kind of just flying, but some of our English language learners, they can create an account there. It is 70 different languages. For our teachers, I always encourage them. This one you're gonna have to create an account, so don't bother. But and if it says don't have a profile, the students at the bottom right here, where it says sign up, that's where our kids would sign up. Our teachers, they would use their county PGCPS email, and then their card number. I'm going to mention it right now, actually. It won't work as a teacher, Marcy. That one is just for our students. So they would use their county PGCPS. The card number is PGCPS and their 9-digit student number. So super important. All of our students have a free automatic public library card, and the public library card number is PGCPS and their 9-digit school number. So their PGCPS number, which starts with 100 and then their 6-digit. And then it's going to ask for the password. Well, this one, they're going to create a password, but a lot of the PGC MLS, which is the public library, ask for a PIN, and it's the last 4-digit of their student number. Okay, so for a student, Mango works really good if they're an English language learner. If you want to learn a language, then there's 70 different other ones. Then we have SIRS. I'm not sure if I had it, this is SIRS Researcher, that's for older students, so I don't think it's relevant here. But same concept. I like to show that one because just click on any of them. It has the pro and cons. So again, you get a whole lot of different resources in one place. You're researching social media. You have the pro side, you have the con side. And then if you scroll down a little bit, they have also a research guide that you can download. So if you don't know where to start with research, you just download this and it gives you step by step on how to do it. And then it has different resources. So we have SIRS Researcher, and then we have SIRS Discoverer, which is 5th to 9th grade. But this one is definitely for high school. But they have the citing, they have the text to voice, the changing the fonts and all that stuff. So next one. All right, link. So I'm going to go back. So link online resources, that is the public library. Like I said, automatic public library card. Okay, they don't have to go to the public library. It's just automatic. So I'm showing you BrainFuse Help Now, Comics Plus, Learning Express, Flipster, and Press Reader. So BrainFuse Help Now. Let's see if it's going to work. And we can't use, oh, do you have a public library card? I can give you my number, Marcy. It's 212-68 01906 6669. So your students, okay, your students would put PGCPS and their student number and click login, and then they would have access. So there's a lot of options here, but the two that I really like is live tutoring, which you can click on. Well, we're not going to do it because they are actually live right now. But let's say that you're in 2nd grade and then you need help with your math. You would go here, you can click it, and then you would click get live help, and you would have a tutor at the other end. So if you click preference, because for my kindergartners, you can do tutoring with audio. So somebody would be there talking to them instead of having a chat. And they also have the Spanish version. Okay, so great place. I mean, I know this is for little people, but it goes all the way to college. And I know when your kid starts hitting calculus and stuff, and it's not everybody's forte, then you can go in here and get some help. Okay, although AI is replacing this, I don't know how useful it is going to be, but for how much longer, but yeah. Then we have Comics Plus. A lot of our kids likes to read comics. This one is not so much high. Do you remember my number? No. So it's 212-68. Hopefully it should work. 212-68 019 06 6669. I feel like I'm forgetting. Yeah. And then 8026. Let's see if that's going to work. Yes. So Comics Plus is comics. Super big selection. I like to show that not because it helps with homework, but it helps with reading because there's a lot of choices in there. Of course, you just need to be aware this is the public library, so I would definitely suggest that you're aware of what they're looking at. Some of the topics, some of the books are definitely not appropriate for young people, but they have, I think if you scroll back up, Marcy, there's a for kids. I might be because I'm an adult, I don't see it, but there is a kids option where you're only seeing kids books. But again, it's just, I like to show that because it has a lot of a great selection for students that don't really like to read books, and it's comics books and it still counts. So then Learning Express, that one is to practice math skills. There's a couple of different options here, but yeah, there's the SAT, the ACT, and all this stuff. But the grade 4 to 8 educator resources, that helps them also. The basic computer skill is different. Yeah, elementary school. And then you can practice some of your math skills. Again, public library, all free. Yeah, this one you need to register. But with your public library card, it's free. So then we have Flipster and Press Reader. This one again, yeah, type in my yeah. So remember PGCPS student. These are just magazine. I like to show that because again, a lot of our students don't like to read books. So I like to promote that we do have access to those magazines. And yeah, okay. And then the last one, which is brand new, which is Press Reader. This one has a little bit more steps. You need to click sign in. And then library or group on the bottom left there. And then you need to type in Prince George. Here it is. And then my library card again. And 8026. And then log in. And you can cancel that. Welcome to Press Reader. We don't care. So they're not coming up. But so these are just a newspaper, and I think for our students, if they have any type of projects where they have to compare the difference of front pages or just even our topic, how it's being covered in the world, then Press Reader is a great place for that. And it's, again, it's completely free and you have access to the complete newspaper. I am not seeing it work on this computer, unfortunately, but anyway, it should work. Hopefully it'll work on yours. I'm going super fast because I didn't realize how late it was. So let's go one more, I think. Yeah, that's it, actually. So that is my information. I work for the Office of Library Media. And if you don't have a school librarian, please feel free to contact me. I can help you with any of those resources I showed